So if you weren't aware, this weekend, NASCAR is turning the Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol, into a dirt track. It's really cool. They haven't done this in a while. And when I was looking at pictures of them turning the track into a dirt track, all I could see and all I could think about was how much room there was in the infield for a Supercross track. This year, for Supercross, it's obviously a little different. And so far, I think all we've had besides Daytona are Supercross tracks in football stadiums. Normally, it's a little bit of a combination of football stadiums, baseball stadiums, and Daytona at the Daytona Speedway NASCAR track. And this year, with Supercross being mostly in football stadiums, at least so far, the biggest complaint that I've seen on my videos, all over the internet, social media, is just how short, unimaginative, uninspired the Supercross tracks are this year. And I think a lot of that has to do with just being in football stadiums. A football stadium is honestly not very big. The floor of it is not very big. There's not much room to come up with a creative track. You're limited with what you can do with that little of space. So seeing Bristol and them turning it into a dirt track, all I could see was, why doesn't Supercross, Feld, whoever is in charge, go to these NASCAR short tracks? Now, there's pretty much only two that you can use, Bristol and Martinsville. Those are the only two small NASCAR tracks that are a normal stadium style, like a football stadium, where there's stands all the way around it. The area in the middle is, like I've said, so much bigger than a football stadium or a baseball stadium. Just look at how small a football field is in the middle of Bristol. Bristol is one of the biggest stadiums in the entire world. It holds like 160,000 people or something ridiculous like that, which is more than twice as much as a lot of these football stadiums that Supercross goes to. And it just got me thinking, why hasn't there been a Supercross in one of these stadiums? The amount of room that you have in order to come up with a way different Supercross track than we've ever seen, the room, it's huge. You can literally make whatever you want. There is almost no limitations to the type of track that you can build. And it's not just these short track NASCAR tracks. I mean, there's soccer fields, like the Red Bull Arena. A soccer field is wider than a football field, and the Red Bull Arena is a soccer-specific stadium. The amount of room in it, it's not a ton more, but it's a little bit more than a football stadium to give you just a little bit extra room. Try to make the lap times more into the 50-second range than the 40-second range that we've been seeing at football stadiums so far. And some football stadiums are bigger than others, like Arizona. There's a little cutout in it because they roll the field in and out because it's an indoor stadium with a real field. So they have to roll the field in and out in order for it to get sunlight. And so that cutout allows for just a little bit more room than a normal football stadium, and we see those longer lap times. This year, obviously, is different, like I said. But in the upcoming Supercross seasons, when things start going back to normal, I feel like this is something that maybe Feld can start to introduce. But there may be some vital stuff that I'm missing. Maybe there's contractual stuff with these football stadiums in the future. Maybe there's scheduling issues with NASCAR. Maybe it's a money issue because these stadiums are so big. But I feel like money shouldn't be the issue because some of these stadiums that Supercross has been in, they're state-of-the-art. They're literally works of art. They cost billions of dollars to make compared to something like Bristol that was made in the 60s for a third of the price as Atlanta's football stadium. Maybe there's something else that I'm missing that I don't know about. That's the reason why we can't have Supercross in a stadium like that. In the future, though, that would be really cool if we had more options, more combinations of stadiums instead of football, baseball, and one NASCAR track, Daytona. This year, we're getting another NASCAR. We're getting Atlanta, and we're getting 3 rounds there, which is really cool. It seems like, looking at the track maps, it's going to be a little bit different than Daytona. It's going to be more of a Supercross-style track, but just in a huge area. Like a Supercross-style track that is still going to have way over a minute lap times like Daytona, but it's not going to get as gnarly as Daytona. It's not going to be outdoor-inspired like Daytona, but it's still something different, which I think is really cool. So maybe in the future, we could have the normal football stadiums for some of them. We could have the baseball stadiums for some of them. We can throw a soccer stadium in there. We can throw Bristol and Martinsville in there. We can keep Daytona, go to Atlanta Motor Speedway again, and have just a huge combination of all different types of stadiums that would give us all these different types of track layouts instead of just the normal square football stadium that you just can't do much with. And it's not even square. I guess it's a rectangle, but it's skinny, short lap times. Lappers become an issue. If we had longer tracks, I feel like racing would be a lot better because you wouldn't have lappers to deal with. The tracks would be a lot cooler because Dirtworks would be able to do literally anything they wanted. They wouldn't be limited to this small area. And yeah, it was just when I was looking at Bristol and I was looking at the track and seeing how big the infield was, it just got me thinking that there are some options that Feld can use other than what they traditionally use. So yeah, tell me what you think about this. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you have an idea of why this wouldn't work or why it hasn't worked in the past, or maybe they just haven't thought about it? Feld, if you're watching this, it's a great idea, at least in my mind. This is a great idea. So you're welcome to have it. I'll give it to you for free. You don't have to pay me for this idea. It's all yours. This track at Bristol this weekend, I think it's going to be an awesome race. So if you have time and you don't have anything else to watch the NASCAR race. It's a dirt track. It's a half-mile, I think, track. It's going to be pretty sick. And then you can see how big the stadium is and how sick of a supercross track you could put in the middle of that thing. And you could even utilize the banked corners, kind of like the MXGP. How many years ago was that? Where they used the Charlotte Motor Speedway's dirt track, I'm pretty sure, which I think was only a quarter mile. So there we go. The GPs used it, or used something like it. So Supercross should be able to use it. Anyways, these are just some thoughts to get an idea rolling. So share it around with people if you think this is a good idea, because I think it's a good idea. And I could be wrong, but yeah. Tell me what you think.